June 29th. We'll start with Shlok number 13.
In our last sitting, Ashatpadi 12, we concluded by saying Bhullan andar sabko, abhul guru karta. Traditionally, we try to read this together and not pay attention to the message. Guru Kartar is to be looked at separately. The message is that unless you achieve the state of either a Brahmgyani or you yourself merge with the ultimate creative energy, which is Kartar, you will stay subject to the illusions of the duality, the Maya. Bhullan andar sabko. No exception to the rule. Anything and everything. Universally will be always in the cycle of the illusionary sensual world. The only two energies which are free from it is the Guru and the Karta. The master and the creative energy. So, how do you get there? How do you achieve that state? Next line says, Gurmat man samjhaya. The prerequisite, the first requirement, a step on the path of spirituality. Gurmat man samjhaya. How do majority of us live? We replace the word Gurmat with Manamat. My own intellect, my own thought process, my own knowledge, what I have heard, what I have gathered, what I have collected. That is what is guiding my mind. That's what is guiding my life. And 99% of the time, my logic is, so many millions of people have been doing for thousands of years, how could they be wrong? Right? That's the logic I follow. And Gurbani says, that is your pitfall. The very first requirement is, Gurmat mana samjhaya. The word that came from Guru's mouth. The intellect of the Guru. Who's the Guru? Once again, we need to remind ourselves. Guru is not a body. Guru is not a human. Guru is a Shabad. Which Shabad? The Shabad that helps you to raise your consciousness, raise your spirituality to the highest status possible is the Guru. That Shabad, that word may come from anybody, from any source, is irrelevant. Sikhism is the religion which basically denounces complete Gurudom. It's a tragedy that when the Gurus did not call themselves Guru, Gurus did not call their Guru to be Guru, the Sikhs insisted, we are going to call you Guru. So we became smarter than them. That's the tragedy with the Sikhism. And if you try to wake them up, they will basically say, he is anti-Sikhism. Take care of him. Put him away. We don't want to hear this. Because that's what is making the whole wheels of organizations move. And Gurbani is highlighting, it says, Gurmat man samjhaya. The key is, how do you actually tell the mind that the process you are following is not the right one? The word that eventually changes your mind in the direction of the ultimate energy, that Shabad is your Guru. Whether you read it in a book, whether you listen on a radio, whether you listen it on a television, in the newspaper, from a friend, even from your enemy, so what? It has nothing to do with the source. Everything has to do with whether man samjhaya is becoming possible or not. And it is so ironic. We will go to the Gurdwara, we'll bow before the Granth and say, this is our Shabad Guru. Then whatever is said over there, we'll ignore it 100% and do exactly the opposite. But we'll still call it a Guru. So what happened? Man samjhaya ne. That means Guru di mat aayi ne. And unless you get to that stage, you cannot get to the next stage, which is Laga tise pyar. When you cannot love the Guru himself, when you cannot love the words coming from the Guru himself, how are you going to fall in love with something that you have not seen ever? Something that you see, something that you can hear with your senses, if that is not having an impact on your mind, what is the possibility of the impact on the mind of something which is only a hearsay? Something have heard. Because nobody in this world can prove that God is. Half of the earth is standing on the other side, saying there is no God. It's all Darwinian theory, evolution. And half of the world is standing on the other side. So which is something that is so esoteric, to develop love for it is only possible if Gurmat man samjhaya. If that doesn't happen, you will pretend and you will influence others, and others will say, oh, he's a great sannyasi, very knowledgeable and great bhagat, and you will collect lots and lots of kudos and praises, and you may even have few followers. But that's about the extent of it. Because if you get to that stage where it says Laga tise pyar, if that happens, then next thing is possible, which is Nanak sach na visray. Only then it's possible. See how these lines are related and the words are related with each other? How the thoughts are joined together? Nanak sach na visray mele. Now watch it. See how clearly the Gurbani defines Mele Shabad. Pehla ki kya si? Gurmat man samjhaya. See how it clearly says कि Gurmat hai ki Shabad. Gurudom is not in a physical body. But it doesn't happen. Why is it not happening? Next Ashatpadi. It starts Trishna Maya Mohani Sut Bandap Gharanar. The biggest pull to the human mind-body system. If you were to imagine a child opening the eyes for the first time on the planet Earth, what is the first thing that the child experiences? The touch of the mother. Right? The child cries. The doctors immediately wrap him up and give it to the mother. What does the mother do? She immediately puts his mouth next to her breast. Now, what is the child having now? He has two things going there: touch and the taste. That's his first experience. Touch of the soft skin, taste of the milk. What is born out of that? The attachment. The very first experience on this earth creates what? No greed, no anger, no desires, no sex, nothing. What is the first one? The attachment. Moho. And that becomes the primordial memory for the rest of the life. We start developing the moho for everything and confuse that moho with the word love. Humans don't know how to love. Humans have no capacity to love. Why? Because both are subject to change. You may experience a certain energy at a certain time and space intersection and say, the vibes I am getting out of this body are so warm that I am willing to give my life for this. Then that time and space passes. This body is evolving and this body is evolving. But they are evolving in different directions, at a different speed, a different pace. That vibe will never come back again. That is why the terminology in English is fall in love. If it was true love, you will be rising in love. You won't fall. But the reality is the consciousness really does fall. It has taken the attachment and converted it into love. Pure illusion. It is falling in love. It's not rising. But we know love is God and God is love. So if you are going to become God-like, you're going to have to learn to rise, not fall. And that doesn't happen. Why? Moho, Trishna, Maya, Mohoni. And where it is starting? Sut. ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬੰਧਪ ਪੈਣਾ ਭਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਘਰਨਾਰ spouse. All these are attachments. Moha. Now I know the ladies revolt against this thought. You tell them that you need to examine your basic instincts inside. नहीं माँ बच्चे के नाल प्यार कर तो कभी गलत नहीं हो सकता, कभी झूठा नहीं हो सकता. No, examine it. When that son, when that daughter is not growing up or behaving the way you would want them to behave, what goes inside you?
Disappointment.
प्यार कितने गया फिर? Has it not been replaced with anger, with disappointments, with letdowns? Right? How can these things coexist? Oh, I love him, but I'm so angry with him I could slap the silly devil out of his ear. But I love him. Would you please get out of the illusion? One is fire, the other is water. They cannot coexist. Anger is fire. Right? That's why we paint with the red. चेहरे ते खून दे रंग आ जांदा ना की है चेहरा जी गुस्से नाल लाल होया पे. What does that mean? Anger is red. Is firebrand. क्रोधा. पर लव वो तो शांति है, वो तो पीस है. How can they coexist? So we become so delusional. No, I love him, but I really would like to beat the hell out of him. No, you were attached with him once upon a time, and that attachment has not brought the intended results. Attachment has turned into moho, has turned into krodha. Love cannot convert into krodha. Moho can. And that's what is happening here. Moho thagavli, tishna mohani maya mohani sud bandab gharnar, tan joban jag thagya lab lob ahankar, moho thagavli hamui savarte sansar. And Gurbani says, it's not a condemnation of any one particular individual. It's not a commentary on any one soul. It is Savarte Sansar. As Gurbani says, Tit sarore bhaile nivasa, pani pavak tenhe kiya, pankaj moho. पर कैसा है ये दल 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 कैसी है ये? पंकज मोह पग नहीं चाले, हम देखे तय डूबिया रहे. Wherever I see, the same story. It's not that the Sikhism is condemning the Hinduism and Hindu is condemning the Christianity or vice versa or all those things. That's not the case. Gurbani says this is the condition of human mind. Why? Because it forgot about Gurmat Man Samjhaya. Because it forgot about that, what happened? Tishna Maya Mohani Sut Bandap Gharnar Tan Joban Jag Thagya. The wealth and the youth. Many times the people fight with each other. Aji, sharab la nasha bada bada. You should not drink. And I normally tell them, I can show you some nashai who are completely addicted and they have never touched a drop of it. You want to see them? How intoxicated they are? Go talk to a rich person about his wealth. Go talk to a muscular person about his health. Go talk to a pretty face about his beauty. They will be more intoxicated. Now the funny thing is, and I'm not propagating here that you started drinking, I'm saying to you is that the other intoxicants will come down after a certain amount of time. These intoxicants, once you get into them, they never come down. It's lifelong. I remember I was traveling in Bombay a while back, and I met a friend who was my class fellow after 4 or 5 years, and I certainly recognized him. And oh, hello Jaswant Singh, how are you? What can I do for you? So I said, well, is this necessary that you should be able to do something for me? I just met you after. He said, don't you know? I'm an IAS officer now. मैं क्या प्रॉब्लम, मेरे को तो एग्जाम पास नहीं हो सके. that IAS title now will bother him for the rest of his life. He will remind everybody, I am an IAS officer. When people come here, they have left everything and they still carry those things with us. I was a judge over there, I was a barrister over there, I was this over there, I was this over there. ये नशा नहीं देखी है, and it's the worst kind, because it keep on pricking the ego inside, keep on bothering, and that's what Gurbani is saying. Tan joban jag thagya. The word thug is very important. पंजाबी ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿੰਨ ਅੱਖਰ ਨੇ, ਚੋਰ, ਡਾਕੂ ਤੇ ਠੱਗ। ਤਿੰਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ। They do one thing only, and that is what belongs to you, they want it. They take it what actually is yours. But their method is totally unique, all three of them. The thief will take your thing when you are not looking, when you are not there. But a dacoit will actually wake you up even when you are sleeping and say, hey, gun, give whatever you got. Right? He actually wants you to know that I am taking it. Now you can defend yourself from these two. Right? You can put your security systems, you can have various other arrangements made. But the third kind is thug. Now the thug is what is called in English a con artist. A thug first becomes your friend. And he convinces you in such a way that he is so good a friend that you automatically सारा कुछ अपना देते हो. And you find out later, oh my God, ठगेगा. You cannot save yourself from a thug because he's your friend. Confidence जीत लिया उसने पहला. That's why Gurbani is saying, ये जड़ियाँ चीज़ां ने ठग ने, right? पहला ना तो मजा आता है. तान जोबन जग ठगया. Because we do enjoy these things, don't we? So how can they become painful for us? Because we just had fun with it. But they are really con artists, and everybody falls into that trap. केड़ा ट्रैप आ जाता है क्योंकि जिस वेले ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਲੋਭ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ. Con artist ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ? Give me $10, I'll come back, it will be 1,000. पर दोस्त है धोखा किस तरह कर सकता है? ले जावे ना 10 आने ना 10,000 आना, वो दोस्त भी गायब हो जाना. Because he raises your greed. First he becomes your friend, then he feeds your greed, and that's how he takes the money from you. Tan joban jag thagya lab lob ahankar. And what happens? The ego keeps on growing bigger and bigger. Moho thagauli homui savarte sansar. The whole world, sansar, the total world, is being conned by these sensual pleasures, sensual energies. And we continuously say, ये गलत किस तरह हो सकता है? अच्छा चलो जो सारी दुनिया कर रही है तो फिर जो सारे गलत ने तो ऐसी भी गलती से. And then we make beautiful, jokes and stories. Well, it's okay, we can go to hell. I mean, there'll be a lot of people over there, and so why go to heaven? Sit alone by yourself. How naive. And Gurbani says, मेरे प्रीतमा मैं तुझ बिन आवर ना कोए. Oh, the creator of all creation. After all, This is also your drama. And I have understood it. I'm not falling into the trap. मैं तुझ बिन अवर न भावई तू भावे सुख होए. The real seeker who has understood this message will come to that conclusion. मेरे प्रीतमा. Pritam literally means a lover. मैं तुझ बिन अवर ना कोई. Yeah.
You know, couple of sentences ago you said this is also your drama. So now, who do you mean by your?
His.
Correct.
The one who has understood the message now can see both sides. Standing in the middle, can see this side, the life of the sensuality, and he can see this side, the Guru Mat pulling to the other direction, and then making a conscientious choice. Spirituality is a conscientious choice. Sometimes religion is not. Right? ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਚਪੇੜਾ ਮਾਰ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਬੋਡੀ ਬਣਾ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੈ ਚੱਲ ਪਤਾ ਟੇਕ ਤੇ ਹੈ he may not have a choice but there's nothing you can do to the child that is the spirituality will be forced. Right? ਤਾਂ ਦਬਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਮੱਥਾ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਟਿਕਾ ਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ but spirituality is independent. And that's the reason Gurbani keeps on saying you have to make a conscientious choice. Nobody's going to come and hold your hand and say you are going the wrong way. It's not going to happen. You will have to choose. And how do you choose? I mean, why would you choose? If you were to just sit down and ask a simple question. I am X years old. I have passed this life on this planet doing this. Am I at peace with myself in living this way? Or is there something missing? ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਡਨ ਉਦਾਸੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ? And you can see that small children, watch them sometime, they will be just suddenly sitting quietly and you say, बेटा की गल है? कुछ नहीं. बेटा चुप कर बैठा, कुछ नहीं, पता नहीं. Because that sensation of vacuum follows us all through the life. कि बच्चा भी, he has played with this toy, he has done this, he has eaten, he has slept, he has... Suddenly now, you do what? Oh, I'm bored. I remember मेरा प्यो बड़ा गुस्सा हो जाता था. टेका ना होवे तो तेनू बोर दा की पता हुंदा? How can such a small child know what's bored? But boredom is increasing as the speed of the time is increasing. We are moving much faster. The pace of change is much faster than it was even 50 years ago. So 24 hours occupation without interruption, and because there is no novelty in that, mind turns off and says, is this all to it? That is the time to say, अगर मेरे इन्हें करने दे नाल फिर भी अंदर एक कुछ-कुछ खत्म नहीं हुई, then maybe I have been doing something wrong. Normally ऐसे ये नहीं करते. Normally say, you know why this is? My husband is bad, or my wife is bad, or my son has turned out to be this way, or my daughter-in-law has turned out to be this way, or my business partner has turned out this way. We never turn around inside and say, hey, this hole is very big, you cannot fill this with by changing a wife, a husband, a partner, or this. It's not going to happen. This whole is because the nature gave you a potential, a possibility in the human body which you have not even touched. You're trying to live the life of an animal and you are a human. Don't tell a lie. Okay, a dog doesn't tell a lie. Don't steal. Okay, a horse never steals. Work hard. A jackass always works hard. सच बोलो, किसी को मारो नहीं, किसी की चीज नहीं लो. Everything that's being told by all the religion, the animals are already doing it. तो मैं तो human हूं. If I start living and continue repeating the behavior of an animal, there's going to be a hole left. And someday I will say, is that all to it? No. There was something more that you are not attempting. And that's what Gurbani says, मैं तुझ बिन अवर ना भावई, तू भावे सुख होए. That hole will be filled only ਜਦੋਂ तू भावे. Meaning thereby, I am becoming worthy of His grace, His blessing, His prasad. उदों ही सुख आएगा, उस तो पहला सुख होना नहीं. नाम सलाही रंग स्यो गुर के शब्द संतोख, जो दिसे सो चलसी कूड़ा मोह न वेख. वाट वटाऊ आया नित चलदा साथ देख. If you are going to ever experience the sensation of the true bliss, true sukha, then Nam Salahi Rangasya. You have to get into the meditation. You have to get into the japana. You have to get to that stage. Kede Gur ke Shabad. Fir Shabad aa gaya. Us Shabad nu leke, uski kamai kar. And when you go into that direction, something will miraculous will happen, which is what? Santokh. Contentment will start. Taol taram daya ka poot. इस रूप बन के किने रखे है? संतोख थाप रखिया जिन सूत. ताओल तरम. धरती जड़ी है एक धर्मसाल है. ते धर्म की है, ये दया मां दा बेटा है. ताओल तरम दया का पूत. जिस हिरदे विच दया नहीं, उते धर्म दा पुत्र पैदा हो ही नहीं सकता. ते दया कदों पैदा होंदी है? जदों पहला अपने नूं संतोख होवे. तां ही किसी ने दया करके किसी नूं दे सकदे हो ना. जे अपना ही मन नहीं भरिया होया ते किसी नूं की दिओगे? कंटेंटमेंट. जे आप ही कंटेंटेड नहीं तो किसी वाला हाथ जा ही नहीं सकता. लैन लई भावें उठे, देण लई नहीं उठेगा. संतोख कदों डेवलप होंदा? कहंदा तू नाम जपना शुरू कर. पर तू भुल जाना है किहड़ी गल नूं? जो दिसै सो चल सी. Again, no exception to this. Anything that our eyes can see in the outer world, they are a maran dharma. नाशवान है. Even this planet नाशवान है. इसकी भी कुछ लाइफ है, लिमिटेड है. सूरज की भी कुछ लाइफ है. प्लैनेट्स की भी कुछ लाइफ है. It doesn't matter which way you look at. Everything is a maran dharma. So, attaching yourself to maran dharma is not the smart thing to do. Koda moho na vek. Don't get that attachment. Be alert to this fact. What vatahu aya. Beautiful metaphor. कहते मुसाफिर बन के आए हैं. Literally. You are a traveler. Now, what is the basic characteristics of a traveler? Right? Punjab कहते से राह पे जाने या वाह पे जाने. If you want to see the quality of a human being, either travel with a person for a few days together, or live with the person for a few days together. या राह पे आ जाने या वाह पे आ जाने, रास्ते पे आना. I mean, even you can see that if you are in a car and you're driving from here to any distance for a few hours, immediate qualities of the person will show up. Right? Oh, pare kar bhai, mainu aram na band de. But the other one will say, that's all right. I can squeeze, you can sit. ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਈਦਾ ਸੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੰਗਾ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਲੜਾਈ ਝਗੜੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਐਨ ਮੂੰਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੈਠਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਨ ਮੂੰਹ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੈਠਣਾ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਚੰਗਾ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਲੈ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਮਕਈ ਦੀਆਂ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਦਾਲ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ ਲੈ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਣਕ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਦੇ ਦੇਣਾ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੰਢਾ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾ ਲੈਣੀ कोई ऐसा भी मिल जाता कहता मैं हाथ नहीं ला सकता तो मैं हाथ ना लाए पानी मेरे गिलास में तू वेजिटेरियन है नहीं मैं पक्का वेज मैं तो कभी गंडा नहीं खाता तो तू मेरे गिलास में खिलाता ये राह पे but then another miracle happens in that राह पे the quality चंगा सफर है या माड़ा सफर है whenever the station comes कुछ उतर जाएंगे कुछ और चढ़ जाएंगे अज तक कभी किसी ने कहा कि तेरे नाल इन्ना प्यार हो गया चल मैं तेरे नाल ही चल जाना अपने पिंड मैं घर भी जाना कभी नहीं होया कभी किसी ने भी नहीं कहा कि मेरा पिंड ते आ गया पर तेरे नाल ऐसा प्यार पै गया की उतरना मैं तेरे नाल चल एंड गुरबानी से तू मुसाफिर बनना सीख ला ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ भाई गड्डी चल रही है घर बच्चा जमे ठीक आया जान कर लिया ठीक गड्डी चल रही है बुजुर्ग चला गया रोना धोना की पाना भी वो तो उतरना टाइम आ गया उतर गया किस का गड्डी चढ़ना टाइम आ गया चढ़ गया किस का गड्डी उतरना टाइम आया उतर गया ना रोन की लोड़ है ना हसन की लोड़ है ना रौला पाने की लोड़ है तो मुसाफिर का खाना चले जा रहे See how quickly the life changes just with one statement केड़ा वाट वटाऊ आया वाट का मतलब है रास्ता वटाऊ दे रास्ते चलने वाला मुसाफिर वाट वटाऊ आया नित चलदा साथ देख राइट कोई चल रहा ना कोई आ रहा है कोई तू बस देखी जा डोंट मेक दी अटैचमेंट क्योंकि जिहदा स्टेशन जिथे आ गया उन्हें उतर जाना आखण आखे केतड़े गुरबिन बूझ ना होए नाम वडाई जे मिले सच रपे पत होए जो तुद भावे से भला खोटा खरा ना कोए आखण आखे केतड़े देयर आर gazillion of translators आखण आखण वाले दसन वाले व्याख्यान करने वाले कितने हैं But who knows the real truth? The one who actually said it. Right? Translator cannot know. That's why one statement have multiple meanings. And the meanings are based on your own state of mind. Akhan aakhe ketade gurbin booj na hoye. The one who actually been there, done that, seen that, he's the only one who really knows the truth. Naam vadai je mile sach rape pat hoye. So how go and you get to that state? Gur wali state te kis tarah jayenge jisse mein pata lag jaye kehte naam vadai je mile. If you get to the meditation, if you get to the naam japana, then possibility हो जाती कादी सच रपै you start merging with the ultimate truth. Pata hoye. Now you are becoming, in the true sense, a renowned in the eyes of the ultimate creator. जो तुद पावे से भले खोटा खरा ना कोई. Now this is very difficult for us. सानू ते हर गल आ जी ठीक है ते आ गलत है, आ चंगा है ते आ माड़ा है, आ गलत है ते आ सही है. We cannot live the life without labels. And Gurbani says, who died and made you God? How do you know this? अजी सच बोलना चंगा होंदा है. किसी ने कृष्ण ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ. कहता हमेशा सच बोलना चाहिए. Now Krishna, the life ਜਿਹੜੀ है, when you study that, you find that he only cared for the ultimate truth. He did not care anything about anything else. Whereas Rama considered about the tradition. That's why ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਆਪਣਾ
15
नहीं
ਉਹ 14 ਕਲਾ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਨ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई प्राण जाई पर बचन ना जाई, है ना. तो उसनू रघुवंश ਦਾ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਨ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਹੈ. ਸਚਾਈ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕੁਰਬਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ. ਸੀਤਾ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹੈ, ਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਲੰਘਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ. ਗੱਲ ਖਾ. Whereas Krishna's model was ट्रुथ सेव करना है. ट्रेडिशन भावें बर्बाद होंगी तो हो जाए. फिर किसी ने पूछ लिया ये किस तरह हो सकता है, तो उन्हें फिर सवाल किया. कहता है एक गाय जिसके पीछे मांस खाने वाला भागा आ रहा है, उसने उस गाय को लेकर ज़िबा करना, वो तेरे घर आ गई. वो तेरे से आगे पूछता है इधर से गाय निकली, क्या कहोगे?
नहीं निकली.
सच बोलोगे? और उस जमाने में गौ हत्या तो ब्राह्मण की हत्या दोनों जो है वो जो नरका होते हैं. गौ की हत्या कैसे करवाएंगे? नहीं हम तो झूठ बोलते हैं. बस बात खत्म हो गई ना. To take something blindly and say अजी वो देखिए ना वो धर्मपुत्र युधिष्ठिर है, उसने हमेशा सच बोला. नहीं, वो भी वक्त देखता था. अल्टीमेट ट्रुथ को बचाना है, एपरेंट ट्रुथ को नहीं. अल्टीमेट ट्रुथ को बचाना है. तो उसकी बात यहां पे गुरबानी कर रही है, जो तुद भावे से भले खोटा खरा ना कोई. नथिंग इज गुड, नथिंग इज बैड, नथिंग इज राइट, नथिंग इज रॉन्ग. Don't be the judge of that yourself. Leave that judgment to the one who created it. जो तुद भावे सो भला. He knows the ultimate कि सच्चा केड़ा झूठा केड़ा. Under what conditions this law will apply and what conditions this law will not apply. गुर सरनाई छुटिए मनमुख खोटी रास, अष्ट धात पातशाह की कड़िए शब्द विगास, आपे परखे पारखू पवे खजाने रास. So how would you eventually get there? He says that then the first requirement is Gur Sarnai. The one who has gone ahead of you, who has done that, been there, seen there, surrender your own arrogance to that. And accept the word from him. Don't follow your own mind, manmukh. मन दा चलना अपने मुंह दे पिछे, मनमुख. The one who follows one's own intellect. Khoti ras, that is going to get you in the negative energy. Turn around. Ashtadhat Patshah ki khadiye shabd vigas. Ashtadhat, अठा धातुआं. शरीर वल इशारा किया जा रहा है. This body made of all these elements, अगर इसनू if you want to make it the real truth one, then ghadiye shabad vigas. Literally, as a potter hammer the pot, karda hai usnu maar ke hathaude, theek karda hai. You should use the shabad as a hammer and straighten this out and keep on hammering it till ape parkhe parkhu pave khajane ras. Then don't be the judge yourself. Leave the judgment to him. Teri कीमत ना पवे सब डिठी ठोक बजाए कहने हाथ न लब्बई सच टिके पत पाए गुरमत तू सा लाहना और कीमत कहन ना जाए. So, addressing to the ultimate creative energy, teri कीमत ना पवे. Meaning what? You can only value something when you have a comparison, right? ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਸਤੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ ਹੈ. ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੋਣ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ. ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਸਸਤੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਤੇ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਕਹੋਗੇ? Which is what is the case here. He's the only one. So you cannot value it. There is no comparison. ਤੇਰੀ ਕੀਮਤ ਨਾ ਪਵੇ, ਹੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ. Why? You are the only one. Sab dithi thok vajaye. You try whichever, let the intellect run crazy. Eventually, you will come to the same conclusion that the only way you can value something is when there is a comparison. When there is no comparison, you cannot put a value on it. Kehne haath na labbai. And you are not going to get there by just words, by just talking, by just discussing. Sach tike pat paaye. You have to, sach de vich tikna payega, rehna payega, khilona payega utte. You have to merge into the ultimate truth. How? Gurmat tu salahana. That's the only way. You need to, according to the Guru's word, you need to get into the meditation. Hor कीमत कहन ना जाए. There is no other process. There is nothing else to be done. Now, a true master is the only one who can say this. The others will give you very complicated processes. सोमवार ਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਆ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਮੰਗਲਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਬੁੱਧਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. ਐਨਾ ਦਾਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਪੁੰਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਨਹੀਂ ਸੈਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤੀਰਥ ਲਾਣੇ ਹੈ. They will tell you all of that. Gurbani says you don't need to do anything. Don't go anywhere. Merge into the Shabad as given to you wherever you are in your own home. Jit tan naam na bhavai tit tan haume vad. And if it's not acceptable to you, this advice, if it's not acceptable to you, what will happen? Tis tan haume vad. There will be discussion, arguments, vad vivad. And when you are in discussion, what is the normal tendency of everyone? In discussion, you always want to win the argument. Right? That's the tendency. Galbat chal pai hai. You are going to eventually come out, hey, see, main sudha karta. What is that?
Ego.
That's ego. Ego will not allow you to get out of an argument and say, Acha Baba, you win, I lose.
ਉਹੀ ਕਹੀ ਨੇ ਤੂੰ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਰਿਆ.
ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਟਾਣਾ ਚੁੰਡੀ ਵੱਲ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ.
I am so great that I let you win.
I let you win. ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸੂਈ ਚੁੰਬੀ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੈ.
I'm very humble. I don't have any ego.
Yeah. So, ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਇੱਥੇ? ਜਿਤ ਤਨ ਨਾਮ ਨਾ ਭਾਵੇ ਤਿਤ ਤਨ ਹਉਮੈ ਵਾਦ. ਬਹਿਸ ਹੈ. ਬਹਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ? ਹੰਕਾਰ ਵੱਧ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. ਗੁਰਬਿਨ ਗਿਆਨ ਨਾ ਪਾਈਏ ਵਿਖਿਆ ਦੂਜਾ ਸਾਧ. Without the true master, you are not going to understand that secret, and you are constantly I find this so much again and again. और भाई साहब अच्छा दुनिया में रहना तो है ना हम बिल्कुल तो संत बन के कितना कटिए दुनिया जी नहीं दिंदी भाई बोलिया यू हैव टू डिसाइड विद योरसेल्फ तो दुनिया ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ ਹੈ कि परमात्मा ਨੂੰ खुश करना है जे दुनिया ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਤਣਾ तो फिर ਇਹ ਤੇ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਧੋਖਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ why bother don't be under the illusion that ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਜੀਵਨੀ ਜੀ ਰਹੇ that's not ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ because ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ does not worry about ਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜੀਣ ਦਿੰਦੀ you have nothing to do with that so it is a conscientious choice ਗੁਰਬਿਨ ਗਿਆਨ ਨਾ ਪਾਈਏ ਵਿਖਿਆ ਦੂਜਾ ਸਾਧ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਦ ਹੈ ਬਿਨ ਗੁਣ ਕਾਮ ਨਾ ਆਵਈ ਮਾਇਆ ਫੀਕਾ ਸਾਧ which ਗੁਣ the word the meditation without that nothing is going to help everything else maya phika sad now understand that will confuse us because we know that maya in the beginning is not phika it's not tasteless maya in the beginning is very sweet
How can that be?
all illusions are of the senses when they experience they enjoy it when the enjoyment is gone then they look at it and say oh ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ because it's temporary in the beginning it's not in the long run it is phika but if you go on the meditation the reverse will happen in the beginning it will be phika in the long run it will be sweet it's the reverse that's why most of us don't want to do this ਉਹ ਬੈਠਦੇ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੋਡੇ ਥੱਕ ਗਏ ਐਵੇਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਯਾਰ ਛੱਡ ਸਿਆਪਾ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਆ ਵੀ ਐਵੇਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸਾਂ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਚੰਗੇ ਭਲੇ ਰੌਲਾ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕੱਪ ਮਾਰ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਦੇ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਬੈਠ ਗਏ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਭਲਾ in the beginning it's very tasteless whereas Maya is very enjoyable in the beginning and Gurbani is talking of the long run it says beni gun kamna ai maya phika sad asa andar jamya asa ras kas khaye asa band chalaye muhe muh chota khaye ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੁਸੀਬਤ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਲਚਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੀਵੇ ਆਸਾ ਮਰੇ ਨਿਰਾਸਾ and if so long as there is some hope you can continue living if there is no hope why live right well that's the law of this world that world is exactly the opposite in that world you go higher as you drop all of the desires all of the expectations as you subordinate them surrender them the consciousness keeps on rising higher and higher and higher so jeeve asa mare nirasa nahi hai uthe bilkul jiye nirasa ho janda hai na इस करके श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह ने ते साफ ही कह देता रेह मन ऐसो कर सन्यासा बन की सगन सभे कर समझो मन ही माहे उदासा क्या खूबसूरत मिसाल दी बन की सगन सभे कर समझो कहते जंगल च बाहर क्यों जा रहे हैं why do you want to go to the jungle look around your home what is in the jungle well there are trees wood well look at this wood all around you there are plants look around your home don't you have plants there you have garden all over the place the birds are singing and the wind is blowing and there is noise going on look at your home are the children making noise so why can't you think your home is the ban because ban is not the outer environment ban की है मन ही माहे उदासा तू इस घर विच उदास हो के रहना शुरू कर दे तेरे लिए यही बन गए Detachment is from inside. Not leave the world and go to the jungle. That's not detachment. That's escapism.
It's harder though because there are distractions.
Right, but that's how you train your mind. That's what Gurbani is saying. Train your mind to take this environment and turn it into, remind yourself, I'm living in the jungle. I'm surrounded by the wood. I'm surrounded by the noise. I'm surrounded by the trees and flowers. And slowly, slowly you will start seeing that. But it is a mindset. It's not anything else. Just what the belief we know. Just change the belief system and you will see.
It's really hard. I mean,
Of course it is. If it was not, everybody will be a Kabir.
Exactly.
It is hard, yes. But you have to, and you can. The beauty is that you can. Why? Because it has been done. It has been demonstrated, it has been shown that you can do that. Hanji. Hello? आसा अंदर जमया आसा रसकस खाए आसा बंद चलाइए मोहे मो चोटा खाए अवगण बद्दा मारिए छुटे गुरमत नाए. All those things are negative energy. If you listen to the Guru and follow the instructions, you will eventually be able to free yourself from that bondage. सर्बे थाई एक तू ज्यों भावे त्यों राख गुरमत साचा मन वसे नाम भलो पत साख हमें रोग गवाइए शब्द सचे सच भाग सर्बे थाई एक तू. Very powerful message, but very easily forgotten. Because we have fallen into the trap, है ना, ऊपर वाला जाने अरे क्या नीचे वाला नहीं जानता वो अकेला ऊपर ही थोड़ी रहता है. That's just a metaphor, right? सर्वव्यापक है ना. So we have fallen into the trap कि कोई ऊपर रहता है. That's not the case. What is the case? सर्वे थाई एक तो. All around. Similarly, we have created this. एक आत्मा है, एक परमात्मा है. नहीं, एक ही है, दो नहीं है. आत्मा और परमात्मा को बात अलग नहीं है. It's just an illusion. It's not separate. So, what's required? ज्यों भावे. Come into the model of surrendering and accepting the way it is. हुक्म रज़ाई चलना वाले मॉडल पे आ जा. That's how the life will move. Once you are there, then possibility हो जाएगी केड़ी गुरमत साचा मन वसै. Once you surrender yourself to the will of the creative energy, then the inner starts evolving. Naam bhalo patasak, then the word becomes part of you. And once it becomes part of you, hame rog gavaiye shabd sache sach bhag. Understand that the word, the shabd, japna and hankar दोनों इकट्ठे रह नहीं सकते. As you go deeper into the word, you will find that you are suddenly developing a very, very subtle humility. And you are seeing that change in yourself. Not the others, in your own self. आकाशी पाताल तू उतरे भवन रया समाए आपे भक्ति भाव तू आपे मिले मिलाए नानक नाम न विसरे ज्यो भावै तिवे रजाए. Akash means up, patal means down. So Gurbani is hammering that thought again, saying Tre bhavan reha samay. All around is one energy, and the only way you manifest that energy within yourself is ape bhakti bhao tu ape mile milaye. It is His grace. You need to become capable of receiving His grace, and once you are capable of that, then you will see that this is your way of living. Nanak naam na visray. Right now, it's exactly the opposite. वो भुल जाता है. Right? घड़ी को बैठी दा है, फिर भुल जाता है. घड़ी को बैठी दा है, फिर भुल जाता है. But then it becomes totally opposite. फिर तुसी भुलना चाहते हो, तां भी नहीं भुलदा. But that's possible only if you get to that where आपे भक्ति भाव तू आपे मिले मिलाए उसकी कृपा दा पात्र बन ताकि तेनू उस जगह ते ले जा सके, फिर तेनू उसका नाम ना भुलेगा और उसकी रजा दे विच तू रह सकेगा. This is the only process, only method that you need to follow. Other than that, rest is all the illusion putting you onto the opposite side. So this is the 13th Ashatpadi. So we'll take a pause here, and next time when we meet, we'll pick up from the 14th.
See, you said we need to surrender and accept. So, what were you referring to as accept?
Acceptance of whatever is surrounding you, whatever is in your way, in your life path. You are not challenging and questioning and doubting the need for it. This question that always, why me? That is counter to what Gurbani is saying. Say, no, not why me. Whatever it is, teri raza. Hukm raza hi chalana. Which is the first requirement. See, that's the difference between a bhakti